Hi, and welcome to LNA Does Audio Stuff. Today we'll be looking at some little bit less conventional performing stuff, because you will be learning how to perform music with Ableton Live and Push 2. Okay, let's get to it. Hello and welcome to this tutorial to learn Ableton Live and Push 2 performing. So all the techniques that I could think of to perform with Ableton Live and Push 2. And hey, in this point, I have actually done a lot of tutorials previously about Ableton Live and Push 2. So I will link the playlists and all the videos down in the commenty box and situation under this video. Also, when we are talking about a certain thing, a certain technique that I already made a video about, I will link it up here when we are talking about it. Also, please subscribe to this channel. Let me know down in the comments if there's any other techniques that you use to perform with Ableton Live and Push 2. And please like and share this video, and let's get into it. Yes. Okay, so the first thing is the session view and the sample view on it. So the first thing you need to have a look at is the loops and how to loop things. So we can add a loop, like an audio file, into the session view. After that, you can basically just perform by triggering from the triangle next to the loop. Press that and you trigger the sample and it starts to play. To make sure that this sample is on time, what you need to do is just double click it and make sure that you click the button warp. Just scroll down with the tempo meter in the clip view and you will make sure that it's, example, 4 bars in this tempo. After that, you will just crop the sample and it should be in the tempo that you want to play it in. Otherwise, you can just use the warp markers to make sure that all the first notes of the beat or the clip or something is on the time. Yes. Also, in the clip view, you do have a button that says loop. So from there, you can make sure that every time you are pressing a clip, it loops itself. Okay, second point. So let's say you created all the samples into the session views and timed them correctly. Now what you can do is activate them and trigger them from the scenes. Scenes are on the master track. You can see them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what you can do is Command R, rename them. And now you know what song, what section, what area of the song you have on that scene. So it's the vertical line, and when you click one of the scenes, it will play all the clips that are on that row. Have a try on that. Scenes are great. So point number 3 is launch settings. So when you double click one of your clips and you go to the clip view, in there you have letter L in a little circle. You click that and it opens up the launch keys. Firstly, you have the launch mode. So this allows you to select how does the clip react when you launch it. And here is the different modes explained. You can also find them from the information window in Ableton Live when you hover on the top of it. And that will help you to understand what all the modes do. After that, there's a quantization setting. So the quantization is really important. So instead of the sample starting just after the other one has stopped, you can start it immediately after you launch it by setting this to 0. Or you can just make how fast does the new sample start after you have launched it. So under the quantization settings, there's follow action modes. So with the follow action mode, you can make your Ableton Live session work for itself. So you don't need to trigger things, but you can make the loops trigger by themselves. Check that out. So the next one is number 4. So the number 4 is crossover. And this is especially for you people who are DJs or who want to perform with the DJ techniques. Only thing you need to really do is that in a master track, there is these little ball situations, and on the bottom there's an X. So you just click on the X and you can see that on the bottom of the tracks, it appears A's and B's, as well as on the master track, there is this line with the triangle. So now both A and B are making sound. So you want to move from A to B, you slowly pull the triangle on the line to the right side. And that allows you to now cross over from A track to B track smoothly. Ooh, yeah. So next, let's talk about the crossover with push 2. So if you do have Max for Live on Ableton Live and you have that as added, you can now crossfade with your push by using this strip here on your left side of your push. How you do that is that you go to Google and be like, Max for Live crossfade plugin, and you get those for free from the thing called internet. You put that to the master channel and you activate it, you press on, and now, ta-da, when you are touching this, it's also affecting the crossfade on Ableton Live. And now I can activate 2 songs, boom, and now I can just do crossfade between them just by using this. So practical. Looping with Ableton Live and Push 2. So there's so many techniques to do it, and I'm gonna link that video that I've already done about looping here. So the general one with Ableton Live is that if you're in the session view, you have either virtual instrument on a MIDI track, or you do have an audio channel and you have an example microphone or guitar or whatever routed into an audio channel and it's record activated. You can see that the loops on the session view have a little circle instead of a square. Now you just literally click that circle and it starts recording a loop. So super fast, easy way to start looping on the go while you are doing it. This is also so practical with Push 2 because you can just literally press this circle in here on Push 2 and it allows, it starts recording, and you can preset how long the loop will be. Example, 2 bars. So then just keep on looping on the top of 2 bars. It's super simple. That's also showed detailed in this tutorial here. And then number 7, Looper. So Looper is a plugin on Ableton Live you can use with audio coming into your DAW. I made again a tutorial about it, so I will link it here and I will show how I use it with using Push 2 and Violin. How can MIDI map it to my Push 2? To sum it up, how you use it is that you put it on an example audio channel. Okay, the most important buttons there is 4. So first one is record, is the circle. Then there's the plus that keeps on looping on the top of it. Everything that all the signal that is coming in, it starts recording on the top of it. And third one is play button, so it plays, and you can jam on the top of it with your instrument. And the last one is stop, so it stops what you have created. Please have a look at the tutorial I made about Looper. Looper for Push 2. So everything can be MIDI mapped to Push 2. So only thing you need to do is that you go to user mode on the top right corner of your push, and now you go to Ableton Live and you go to the MIDI section on the top right corner of your Ableton. You click that, everything turns blue, and now you can basically just click wherever you want. After you click somewhere, example in Looper, press record button, then you press any of the Push 2, the 64 pads, boom, and now that button from Ableton Live is MIDI mapped into your Push 2. That also works with other controllers if you do not have Push 2. Don't worry about it, you can still control your Looper with other controllers as well. 9, I think I forgot to say these numbers this far, but tip number 9 is arrangement view. So some of you are not comfortable with session view, or you just created this linear amazing thing in the arrangement view and you just want to play that live. So there is a technique in Ableton Live to help you to perform with this, and that's the locators. So when you go to the top bar of your Ableton Live arrangement view and you right click, or with Mac laptop you press with 2 fingers, you get a menu and it says add locator. So with locators, basically plays the song for you automatically, create a locator, and then you assign the locator to do something. Try that. So what you can also do is MIDI map your locators into your controller, and that means that every time you press that, it goes back to that locator, and that means that you can be super comfortable and super flexible with timing when you are performing your linear song in the arrangement view. We are in tip number 10, which is different performance elements with Push 2. You can do it with both of them, but I find them really easy and fast to do with Push 2 instead of Ableton Live on the stage while you're performing. So some of them are example Simpler. Simpler allows you to record a loop to an audio channel, or you already have a sample. So in Ableton Live, you put it into a Simpler plugin, or in Push, you just press the track and you put convert and you put it to Simpler. And that allows you now to basically chop this sample up and play it back like an instrument. And this allows you to do, example, really fun harmonies for your vocals while you're performing, or rhythmic thing with different kind of samples that you already played in the session. So it just allows you to be really creative with your live set. Other things that I find really useful with Push 2 when performing, example, is the session view in Push 2. So you go to the button that says session, and after that you can basically just see the whole session in front of you. So you can see the track names on the top, you can see the samples, and the time signature buttons on the right side are your scene buttons. So you can just go from scene 1 to scene 2 to scene 3 and play your song on time. Otherwise, you can just trigger things on there, on the actual view. So every sample that you trigger, if you do change the quantization settings, the example start playing immediately. So you can be a DJ and you can add sound effects to those samples, and let's say half of them are actual songs and half of them are sound effects. So you can have your songs in front of you as well as sound effects in front of you, and that is something very, very useful when you are performing. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Do come again next Sunday, because there will be something cool and performance-wise where I will use all these techniques and some more techniques in performance in Christmas vibes. Woo! Vibes, not wipes. Vibes next Sunday. So please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next week.